Welcome back, guys, to another Bitcoin weekly update. Apologize about the few day delay, but let's get started. So last week we saw a failure of this 65.15 level. You can see very clean failure on the chart. Also ended up being a perfect failure of the 72 moving average. So we had a small convergence of two resistance levels, the 72 moving average and that level there. You can see it tried to wick above it. We got up about 1% above that level and above the 72, but then we failed down and we had a complete reversal and an engulfing candle down on the daily. It actually ended up testing the 12 moving average pretty much perfectly to the dollar. So we had a failure of the 72 almost to the dollar, and then a test of the 12 almost to the dollar. But we did have a failure of that 65.15 to the exact dollar. So that 65.15 level is a very clear resistance point. We have not been able to break it since the beginning of October. You can see we were above it in that range, failed downward, and now we are just bouncing out of this order block continuously. This failure was kind of predictable. I didn't think it would be as quick. I didn't think it would be basically straight down like it was. But once it failed that 65.15 level, it was pretty predictable at that point. I did miss this move down because these moves keep happening while I'm asleep. Most of these moves are happening during like the London Open, which is around 9 a.m. Eastern for my time. 4 a.m. Eastern for my time, 9 a.m. for their time. Which is typically when their market starts to see significant volume. And that's in most of Europe. That's when you start to see a little bit of a surge in volume when everyone in Europe's waking up. And these past like 2 to 3 big moves have all happened around that time. So I've missed most of them. I've been taking a few scalps over here and there. I'm getting wicked out of my scalps pretty quickly. But I'm still up about, I believe, 5 to 7% on my account currently. It's one of my worst trading months in the past 4 to 5 months. Going from doubling an account to where I am now is kind of a little bit of a bummer, but I'm going to go back to kind of my normal strategy. I've been testing a lot of new things recently, and I'm just kind of I'm going to push all that aside and just work on my trading, go back to my normal stuff, what I'm used to doing, and then get back in the groove, and then we'll go back to testing other things. But for my predictions, I am seeing we had a double bottom here on the daily. We had a double wick here at the 62.13 level. This level has been a very prominent level throughout our update videos, and we have not tested it just yet on this move down. I think when it does test it, that will be a clear indicator to see if this support is still going to hold or not. We have not been able to wick down yet, but we have wicked down a few times, just not as low as 62.13. So I am definitely paying attention to see when we will get that wick. If it breaks 62.13, we might get a little bit of a wick lower. So it might come down and like wick down and then pop up. So that would give us around like 61.60 to 61.80. That is something to keep an eye on. It might aim for some clean lows to stop some people out that put their stop losses below these wicks. I am setting some longs up for a long-term position, not a scalp, from 6,200, from 63 to 6,200 on Deribit. So it's a little different than on BitMEX. But I am laddering in from 63 down to 62. And then if we break 62, I'm going to be hedging probably about 150% hedge or somewhere around there, down below 62. But we'll have to see when we get there. But yeah, so the game plan is the same, guys. I've said it many times in my other videos. I'm not shorting this support. It doesn't matter how many times we test this support. I'm not going to short it. I will short the break of the support. I am not going to short the test of the support. I have longed the bottom of the support, I think 4 times now, maybe 5. And every single time I've come out on top. So I'm longing the bottom here again. If this is the time that I don't come out on top, that's okay with me. Like I said, I am going to long the support. If we break the support, that is when I will start to look to short it. But I'm not going to preemptively short it. You could get a better entry, but I'm just not going to do it. So my targets for my longs are going to be this upper resistance here around 6480 to 6500. If we are able to break 65, my targets are going to be this next level, 6640, 6750. These targets are very easy. These are the levels that I've had in place for weeks now. So nothing is hidden from you guys. This is exactly what I'm looking at. If I really want to see a clean break of the 72, I want to see a break of the 12. We are not breaking either one of those. They're both descending. They're both acting as resistance. So until then, my targets are going to be really tight. I'm going to be taking scalps, but I am going to hold on to my longer term position in my futures until we hit our upper targets or we break our support. So with that said, let's take a look at our weekly chart here. I'm going to go to Bitfinex so we can clean up our chart here. So we can see once again for the 4th week in a row, actually, no, and I take that back. It's been like the past 10 weeks. Yeah, 10 weeks. We've been below the 12 moving average. We have not been able to close above it. Failure, failure, failure. Every single one of these. Even that maintenance wick from back in October could not close above it. This 12 moving average, look at this resistance. It's incredible. It's almost the perfect resistance line for every single one of these candles. I have not changed this at all. So if you guys have been keeping up with the 12 moving average in my update videos, you know where the resistance is coming in. So we do see a clear failure on every single one of these. Let's take a look at our indicators. We have a double buy warning, not a signal. This is not a signal yet. This is a warning. The signal comes when they both turn green. So when you have both these lines, both the MoMo lines, the long term and the short term, when they turn red to green, that is your buy signal. So this one gave you a buy on the short term, which you actually could have taken because it was on a 72 moving average. It showed support. This actually ended up being a trap because you can see the slow line has not left the lower range yet. It has stayed in that lower range and has not left. And we are seeing almost the same thing play out here. It's giving you the double buy warning, no signal yet. And if we do get a signal, I hope it's a double signal, not just the fast line. Because when we see a signal from just the fast line, it turns out to be a bull trap every single time. So that is something we will keep an eye on. But right now, same thing as I said on the daily. I want to see a break of the 12. I want to see a break of the 72. The 72, weirdly, has not started curling downward yet. It is still arching up because it's obviously a very lagging indicator. Since it's a 72 moving average, it's pretty laggy. It is at 7,500, so we still have about $1,000 spread from where we are to the 72. So that's not going to come into play for quite some time. Another thing I want to show you guys here is the longs to shorts. I've gone over this a few times in our update videos. In every single one of our update videos so far, we were pretty much below a 1.0 ratio, meaning the shorts were always in control. Now, that is not the case. The longs took over on November 4th. We've been above a 1.0 since November 4th. We're currently at a 1.2. So there's 1.2 longs for every one short, meaning there's more longs than shorts, meaning the path of least resistance is down. I do not like that. That is a problem that we are so high on the long to short ratio and we're not seeing a surge in price. So we have a lot of longs opening or a lot of shorts closing. Right here we can look at the chart. It is actually the shorts closing. Because you can see this red line is the shorts. We have a massive dip in shorts, but look at the longs. The longs are pretty much relatively the same. There is not that many longs being opened. We can see the longs are at 24,000. The shorts are at about 20,000. So we have about 4,000 more longs than shorts currently. So about 20% more. We can see that right down here on my spread indicator. This is the spread between the longs to shorts. What I would like to see is I would like to see more longs opening once we start to test this support, and I want to see price following upward. So as price moves up, I want to see those longs going up. I don't want to just see the shorts going down. I want those longs to be going up. That shows me that people are participating in this bull move. People believe in the bull move. They want to see the price rise. They want to buy in and they want to ride it up. It's not just the people being scared that it's rising and their stop losses are being hit. So I do want to see the longs go up as price is testing the support, and then I want to see the price start to take off from the support. So those are the things that I'm looking for the next coming days and weeks. I do want to see that ratio get a little closer to 1 while we test this support. And then once we start bouncing off the support, I want to see that ratio start to climb. Let's go back to the BitMEX chart, get one last look. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys is on the MoMo here. I do not like that these lines are so close together. When they pinch like this, it is indicative of a strong move down, because you can see here this move was pretty strong downward, and look at how close together they were. There is almost no divergence between these two lines. That is a very strong down move. So I would like to see, which we have seen in the past, sometimes when these lines are very close together, when they're squeezing like this, they can easily curl up and create a very strong move up. So this does not mean that we're going to die down to 5K or anything. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is this was a strong move down. This can easily turn into a strong move up. This will also, if this continues downward, this will turn into a double buy signal on the daily, which we have not seen since back here in August. You can see what happened the last time we got a double buy signal. We got a double buy and it surged up about 20%. So that could be very indicative of this consolidation ending. Those double buy signals can be quite long sometimes. So we will have to wait and see. But that is what I'm looking for, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. And if you guys would like to, share it with your friends. And I will see you guys next week, probably around Sunday or Monday, for our next Bitcoin weekly update. Have a good one, guys.